Hello again, everybody. Carl Baldassarre back with part 2 of my top 10 classic guitar riffs from the year 1975. If you didn't see part 1, make sure you go back to my content and look for that episode.
Top 40! Top hits of 1975.
Let's get right at it, man. Riff number 6 of the 10 was released on April 18th by the band ZZ Top on their 4th album, Fandango. And they were just looking for some plush tush. Here we go. Not bad for a song that was written in 10 minutes at a sound check. Pretty good.
Top 40! Quick review of the year's biggest sellers.
All right, for riff number 7, we're going to August 4th, 1975, and one of my favorite guitar players of all time from Deep Purple. Yeah, we're talking about Ritchie Blackmore. He formed the band Rainbow, and their debut album had this as the opening track. It's called Man on the Silver Mountain. Let's look at that riff. Man on the Silver Mountain. Ooh-wee. Now I gotta point out that on the studio version, he's plucking the guitar in perfect force in typical Ritchie fashion. You know, with it. And using the thumb on the G. You hear that? It's kind of dropping in. You know, getting those in there. But then on the live version, he plays it unbelievably fast, and he's not plucking them, he is upstroking the perfect force. Let's try it. That's really, really tricky to do and get it at that speed and to hit those perfect fourth upstrokes so you get the octave into the 4th first. So, man, the guy is so accurate. Ritchie was just so incredible with that. And I also love the way that he would not play the riffs the same way. He would often vary them. He did it with Smoke on the Water, he did it with this, and a lot of his riffs, he'll just move them around the neck, re-register them, pick them differently. That's what made him such a great guitar player. So there you have it, Man on the Silver Mountain by Ritchie Blackmore and Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow.
Top 40 for the year 1975.
All right, we're on to riff number 8, and the English band Foghat released an album called Fool for the City on September 15th, 1975. That had a lot of great rock and riffs on it. The one I'm going to play for you today is the song Slow Ride. There's a lot of cool riffs within the song. I'm going to give you a couple right here. So you got that great introduction riff, kind of on the offbeat, and you got the turnaround to the main riff of the song, which is the big hook. Then they go into this little second part here, the little variance part, which is really cool, which is the...
song of 1975 was missing.
So here we are, number 9 on the top 10 greatest riffs from 1975. We go to Canada. We have the Canadian band Heart for their debut album, Dreamboat Annie. This is a deep cut. Not many people know this track. You know the album for the song Crazy on You. But I'm not talking about that riff, man. I'm talking about this deep cut, third track, second side. The song is called Sing, Child, Sing. I think it's one of the most inventive, killer guitar tracks and riffs of all time. And it goes like this. Got the little ninth chords. And I love when he turns it around to this little break here. And he turns it around to the top again. Sing, Child, Sing, one of the greatest rock riffs ever. Before we move to the final track of 1975 on my top 10 list, I want to tell you that the 70s were amazing for classic guitar riffs, and I love that era. I'm from that era, and I have written a lot of riffs myself from that era. I'd like to have you take a look at some of the riffs I have on the album Collinwood Yards, some great ones that feel like they're from that era, not the least of which is a song called Coin a Phrase. You can check out that riff and a whole lot more on the album Collinwood Yards. You can find it at carlbaldassarremusic.com. That's carlbaldassarremusic.com. And now to riff number 10.
Top 40! If you've been with us through the whole countdown, you've probably identified most of them.
All right. The 10th and final riff from 1975. This was released in November. It was the first solo album for this artist from America. His name was Ted Nugent. He had the famous solo album, and a lot of young guitarists like me just ate, drank, and sleep that album round the clock. So many great riffs, and not the least of which is Stranglehold, one of the most epic riffs of all time on guitar. And a little fun fact about Ted Nugent and that album, my lead singer from my progressive rock band, Syzygy, his name was Mark Bowles, and Mark actually got his big break in music by being the bass player for Ted Nugent as they went out live on the Stranglehold tour. And Mark Bowles, if you're out there, keep rockin', buddy. Stranglehold by Ted Nugent. All right, that concludes the top 10 riffs from 1975. It was awesome to learn all these riffs, and actually I'd love to do another episode, and you can help me out by giving me some suggestions of some great riffs that I left off, because I know there's a lot more that I could be doing. So please send your comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're really trying to build a subscriber base. Really appreciate you joining on here and helping us grow this channel. Until next time, we'll see you again. I'm Carl Baldassarre.